of careers that for me, I always feel like, hands down, it's probably stuff I wouldn't be able to do. And pilots, or rather flying planes, is one of them. It always just, like, I look at your dashboards. I mean, you're seeing just my desk here. It's not as technical as the stuff you get to look at. When did you first fall in love with flying? Did you just, how kids are asked, when you grow up, what do you want to be? And you're like, yeah, doctor, and you don't know anything. Even in your family, you don't have a doctor, but you have ambitions of being a doctor. At what point did it occur to you that you wanted to fly?
Well, I was one of those kids who used to say it, what do you want to be? I would like to be a pilot.
Wow.
So how this happened, actually, I was exposed to it a bit early. And when we had the national holidays, Jambojet days, Madaraka days, and we had the flybys by the Air Force, my mom used to always point up and she'd say, you see that red tail of smoke? That's your dad. Yes.
Oh.
So he was in the Air Force.
Okay.
And that was really close to home. So my first interaction was that red tail of smoke and how cool that was.
Yes.
So I definitely wanted to do exactly that, to be in the Air Force and fly the red, tailed smoke in the national holidays. However, of course, with time, it got more tangible. And when I expressed it to my father, he gave me time to process it, because I think he understood that I was still romanticizing it a bit, because it was specific. Dad, I want to be in the Air Force.
Yes.
And of course he was like, hey, okay.
Are you sure?
Are you sure? Do you know what we do in the Air Force?
Outside of flying, these things.
That cute red smoke, that's just a snippet of it. So eventually when I was in high school and he was teaching civilians, which was now accessible, he managed to score me one of his students' flights. So I sat at the back of a Cessna 172, which is a 4-seater. So I sat at the back, and at this time I was, call it 16 years in Form 2. And I really, really, really enjoyed this flight. But then it got very close and tangible and real. Because now I just wanted to fly the machine beyond the excitement of what I had connected it to with him. I now wanted it for myself on that level. So after that flight, he asked me again, do you want to do this thing? And I said yes. And when I went back to school, it was easier for me to pick subjects. And now I was very loud about it. Guys, ninafanya physics. I am picking physics, I am doing math. CRE, I am just doing for fun. So, of course, those are the subjects that you require to pursue the course. And it gives you a basic understanding of what happens with aviation, with the machine, the aerodynamics of it, and all that stuff. So for me, that's how I got the spark going. So I had a bit of access,
yes,
of course, and that was a big, big plus for me.
You can tell somebody loves what they do by how much you can tell the passion behind it. I can see the smile on your face, so I know this means the world to you. Now, every time we'll hear someone introduce themselves as, I'm a pilot, and then there's the distinction that comes when somebody says, I'm a captain. What is the difference between the two?
Well, we're all pilots to start there.
Yes.
But then mostly with captains, you will be introduced as a captain. What I've realized or seen, rarely do you see the captain saying, I am a captain. In fact, we always say that if you find a captain saying, I am the captain, look at me now, I'm the captain now. I'm the captain. There's a problem somewhere, because, your position is emanated from how you do things and how you lead. So it's very hard for you to hear a captain saying, I am the captain. However, you will hear the introduction, this is our captain.
Yes.
However, I am a pilot is very, for us, it's a scorecard. Ever since we start flying, you're going around telling people, I'm a pilot. We've only done 2 hours in flying school, but I'm a pilot, and it's a scorecard because, of course, you're young. We are young when we start off. The starting age is at 18. And actually at 16, if I'm being very correct about it. So there's that scorecard that you have as a teenager. At some point it stops. You sometimes now put it aside so that you can also interact with people and also avoid the many questions that come with the job. So it depends on the setting.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
It's, again, I have interacted with enough pilots, and it's true what you're saying.
Yeah.
Is the first thing is always like, yeah, I'm a pilot. I'm like, okay, do you have an actual name? It's like, yeah, pilot so and so. But it's the pride,
Yeah.
the hours put in, and we have to give credit where it's due.
Yes.
Now, we'll take a very small break, and when we come back, I want us to look at the journey of mentorship. You've mentioned your dad,
Yes.
who played a very, very crucial role, but I'm also sure in that journey
Yes.
of, you building up and coming to the point where you're captain now, there's people that have played very significant roles in terms of mentoring you, and maybe also continue to mentor you, but also paying it forward and looking at what are you doing in your capacity to mentor others within that space or any other areas of interest that you have. Well, we're in conversation with Captain Elizabeth Timona, who is here courtesy of Jambojet, and we are taking this more than a journey. I want to know, and I'm very curious because it's the holiday season, where are you going now? My guests brought in goodies, okay, and in the goodie bags there's fridge magnets, and I'm just looking at them, and they have all of these destinations, and the first one that I touched like this was just Lamu. I'm like, yo, the place that I need to be right now is Lamu, because just to unwind, it's been a crazy year, good year. We are so grateful, but that's one of the destinations that, of course, Jambojet flies to. Do let me know. Weigh in on the conversation. Again, we've been asking you, who's that person that's played a significant role in your life? Well, now we have Jambojet in the house, just making sure that, the message comes out as clearly as possible. Well, stick around, traffic coming right up, and then back to the conversation with Lady Captain. Oh my God, that has such a nice ring to it. Can I start calling myself Captain? I don't know.
The Homecoming, the annual Diaspora Reunion. Nairobi's biggest old school party, El Boogie, will be going down once again at the Carnivore Simba Saloon on December 11th, 2025. Hosted by the legendary vinyl mixmaster DJ Adrian and featuring the Diaspora OG DJ Neodot. Bring the dance floor memories back with all the hits from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Tickets available from ticketsasa.com. El Boogie, Nairobi's biggest old school party with 98.4 Capital FM.
Now, here we go. Don't quit.
Capital Traffic and Travel.
One thing I know for sure is that if I was in Lamu right now, there would be no traffic update. Like, I would just be telling you, yeah, there's an ambulance that's just passed me, and then there's the fire engine, and there's a donkey, because it is just taking care of that environment. One of the reasons why I love Lamu, it's a slow kind of life, and for me, I was built for slow living. Yeah, in fact, this Maisha town. Increasingly, I'm just like, yeah, gotta get out. I don't want to sit in traffic. If you sat in traffic, PS, Festus, did tell us that all you need to do is be a bit patient, okay? 5 trillion shillings committed to infrastructure and just making sure that our roads are expanded. Now, it's gonna be chaotic before it gets good, okay? We have to preach the good news. It's like we have to look at it. Remember when Thika Road was being built and we're like, hey man, I really don't want to sit in this traffic. It was crazy, but guess what? Now people are enjoying. If you're on Ngong Road, you're not enjoying. That I can tell you for a fact. If you're coming in towards the junction, down towards Prestige Plaza, City Mortuary roundabout, that is just looking very hectic. Mombasa Road, oh please, just take the expressway so that at least we can start, finish paying our debt. That money, of course, goes towards those toll fees. Take the expressway. You don't want to sit in traffic because that traffic snakes all the way to the Nyayo Stadium roundabout. If you're on Douglas Wakihuri Road, that's behind Nyayo Stadium. There's traffic bumper to bumper. Other roads looking busy. Jogoo Road, as you're coming in, of course, to join Haile Selassie, that is just chaotic. Muranga Road and Kiambu Road, that is looking very chaotic. But if there's one road that is very surprising today morning, is Thika Road. Please, hakuna traffic. Question is, where are you all at? Limuru Road coming down towards Parklands, there's just light traffic, but at least it is moving. Lower Kabete Road coming in towards Westlands, again slow moving traffic on sections of it. Do let us know what's happening around you. Traffic incidents, accidents, shenanigans. 0701 984 984 or at 984 in the morning using the hashtag #DriveIn at the end.
Capital Traffic and Travel.
Let's have one final test. Throw the switches. Good morning.
Your morning dose of news, fun,
I have music in my life with Sam.
Allow me to demonstrate.
and all the hits with Chiko and Fellaris. Right here on 98.4 Capital FM.
I got primary school. And we go out, we look more dark over there. You know, we on a mountain. Wella. Hey! We're talking about y'all. Giddy, machi. In the house on death, desire. What the hell is you looking for? Can I young Luo make money anymore? Shake your feet, baby girl, and hang Maji, nyakuwa, don't did you want my Luo, but who are you? What are you? Who the hell do you think you are? Do you know me? Do I know you? Get the hand out of my face because, hey, I am unbogable. I am unbeatable. I am unsuable. So if you like my song, sing it for me yourself. Hey, hey. Orango Jimmy donga paro yi Julie dunia bea julu malama Listen, nobody can buogo me. Neither, nobody can buogo this. Giddy, big name, I'm sellable. Kama pili, yes, I'm terrible. Kanyamua, homa bing, I'm a chalakoda. Do you know giddy, son, buogo?
Giddy Giddy Maji Maji, one of those tracks that I listen to and my mind will always go back to the late Raila Amolo Odinga. Baba was just that guy personification of unbogable. Well, speaking of unbogable people, we have another unbogable woman in studio with us, and that is Captain Elizabeth Timona of Jambojet. We are here just talking about what her journey in this career has been, just looking back where the inspiration came from, where we are right now, and also look into the future in terms of how we paying it forward. And if you're just joining us, well, you could always contribute to this conversation 070198494 or on X at 984 in the morning using the hashtag #DrivingNN at the end. You could also see us, by the way, in studio. We are live on YouTube, on X, on Facebook. I mean, we are live everywhere. Everywhere you turn, we are live, okay? 984 in the morning, Fellaris and Chiko and Captain Elizabeth. Now, I want us to talk about mentors outside of your father. If you look around, you could have been a teacher, could have been a friend, could have been your mom, could have been, I don't know, a colleague. Who are those people that you want to give your flowers to or give them their flowers this morning in terms of, this new promotion and you're like, I've gotten to captainhood, but I wouldn't have done this without the support of these people. We all thrive in communities, yeah, and we can't walk this journey alone. Who are some of those people?
It's been quite the journey for me, and from the first day to up to date, I've interacted with such great pilots, and out of the pilot group, I've also interacted with such great people. And what I have gained from these interactions is a lot of encouragement and a lot of cheerleading. You have random passengers just cheerleading you and just shouting, girl power, and
Woohoo!
Such beautiful moments we've had in the whole, experience. So, of course, initially, I will start with my dad. That was my biggest support system from the word go.
Mm.
And the one thing that he had to let me know once I started was, this is going to be more than what you planned for. He gave me a heads up. And he was right. I think if you interview pilots, they will tell you. They gave you it wasn't in the brochure. Yes, so there's a lot that comes with the journey. And he just told me, keep your head up high, walk the walk, talk the talk. And just remember that you represent yourself. So what you do is who you are. And that stuck with me throughout the journey. And as I started the training, I then interacted with. So I was quite fortunate to go to a school that was being run by ex-Air Force teachers.
Wow.
And it was quite the Air Force kind of training, you know?
Yes.
But that said, they helped us get some thick skin, but they were quite proper in how they did things. If you know about the history of aviation, it comes from a military kind of background. So having that from the source was very good. However, on the softer side of things, when they would pull us aside to talk to us, it was very in line with, you know, encouragement and holding our hands. We big up to Colonel Ali and Major Amin and all the guys that really put in effort to train us at that young age. We started off very young, so we needed it. And of course, you go back home and you meet your mom and you're stressed because, as I said, it's more than what you planned for.
Correct.
And of course, you have this person who wants to just tell you, it's okay, I've made for you your favorite meal, ugali and, you know, nyama and mboga, and just sit and drink water and relax. You can do it. And these moments consistently happen to just push you to go back the next day. Because with flying, you just need to go back the next day. And go back again and go back again.
Just show up.
Just show up because it is a repetitive skill. It's a muscle skill. And once it's in, you know. So that eventually happened and it got easier. And as we progress now from the training to the job hunting and the airlines, you then meet employers and other pilots who are also walking the journey, and you're able to share, you know, like, I'm having these challenges and this is happening and how do I go about this? And of course, people who are experienced always have the answer, you know, this happened to me and you can try this. I have concerns about, should I go to workout station in Juba or should I do my instructor's course? And you'll find feedback from people and they guide you in how to go about it personally. So I ended up doing an instructor's course because at the time when I was job hunting, there were no jobs. Aviation is very seasonal. So sometimes there are jobs, sometimes there are no jobs. So we ended up doing instructors. So we started teaching. A big number of us were teaching, and at that time there was a gap with the instructors. So we filled in the gap, taught for almost 3 to 4 years. Before then, the jobs reappeared. And that's when I now started flying commercially. So with teaching, now that I was on the other side of the table, I got to interact with the students. I got to see my struggles from this side, the struggles I used to have, and I was like, oh wow, this really validated the experience that I had, but it also gave me the opportunity to walk them through it and to hold their hand. And at this time, I am 21, 22.
Wow.
And I've had to, like, you know, grow up and mature because now I'm the teacher.
Yeah.
And the student will come and tell you, like, you know, I'm having these challenges, and the beautiful thing about aviation, some students are 16 years, 17 years, and others are 40 years. You know, that happens because if you wake up today and you realize, I have some money and I still want to do this, you will go to the school and they will accommodate you, you know. So I'd meet different people and then we'd have conversations about it. You know, do this, do that, but just make sure you come back tomorrow, okay? You know, have your breakfast. It's just the small things, encouragement. So for me, it was really good to be able to give back that, you know, just assure them that there's really a light at the end of the tunnel because they don't put it in the brochure.
Again, for some reason, that never quite makes it there. So you need people to remind you.
Yes.
And I'm very curious. How long have you been flying for?
I have been flying for now 13 years.
13 years.
Yes.
What's your favorite destination
As a
to fly
pilot,
to? Yes.
To fly to, I definitely enjoy Entebbe.
Ooh.
Because Entebbe has its final approach over the Lake Victoria, and it's quite a beautiful thing to fly into. So I definitely enjoy Entebbe. Before you get there, though, there's some weather that is always harassing you
Yeah.
before the destination. And it's always such a nice, switch of environment from
Yes.
fighting the weather to, oh, wow, the lake is beautiful. And it reminds you of how we have such an interesting dynamic when it comes to work. We love flying, we love to be in the clouds, but we do have days when you're like, okay, so we have to fly through that.
Uh-huh.
Let's see how we'll go about it.
Oh.
So those are the daily challenges that sometimes we encounter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen some footage, of descents, just pilots doing the most crazy landings. Did see one where I think it was from from a national carrier, if I'm not wrong. They were landing in London, and it was a very turbulent landing, and just the relief of seeing that aircraft hit the tarmac, the runway, and you're just like, "Ooh!" I was holding my breath. I didn't even realize I was holding my breath. Do you? I know you experience such moments. How do you center yourself, knowing that you also are carrying passengers who really are just looking to you with so much trust and faith, knowing that they will get to their destination?
First and foremost, I have to emphasize on the level of training that we go through beyond flying school. Once we are in the airline business, we now have a different kind of training. And this is done in a simulator, which we call the hot box. And the reason this is a hot box is because it gets hot in there. And how the simulator is set up, you have, just picture the front part or the nose part of the aircraft plus the seats,
Yeah.
just separated from the whole system, and that is as that. So it is a perfect depiction of what we have on board, different simulators for different aircrafts. So once you're sat in the simulator, then everything is simulated for you. Harsh weather conditions, towards your minimum operating limitations. You then have non-normal situations where you have system failures. And what this does for us is also just allow us to get used to it. So the startle effect is greatly reduced and the confidence is greatly increased. So you find like that crosswind landing is something that has been done in the simulator where the wind is so strong and crossing,
Yes.
at 90 degrees to the aircraft and thus pushing your nose to face the other direction. So what happens is then you have a pilot who is so well versed with this thing
Yes.
that all they have to do, because what they have trained to do, is to focus.
Yes.
So I have to focus on the center line of the runway, on the correction of the state of the aircraft, and to just remember to also monitor my speeds and to land the aircraft. Passengers aside, because at that time it's just you and the machine.
Correct.
Yes, because you'll be fine. As long as I am focusing on the machine,
Yeah.
you'll be fine. So that comes with a lot of training.
Yes.
And it works because then you find intimidation from the weather can intimidate you.
I can imagine.
Yeah. Sometimes you're flying and you look on that side and you see lightning. When you see lightning that close, you realize, oh,
Ooh.
wow.
You have to weather the storm. It's,
Yes.
these things that are very unforgiving, and Mother
Yeah.
Nature is one of them.
Yes.
It's like very unpredictable.
Very.
And, seeing that, you go through a rigorous training that just makes sure that your safety and that of your passengers is something that you carry a responsibility to, but at least it's something that has been, there's a lot of thought that has been applied to it.
Yes.
Oh, maybe in another lifetime I am going to become a pilot and maybe captain one day, but for now the captain in the house is Elizabeth Timona from Jambojet. We'll come back, and maybe one of the things that I'd want to hear from you is what are some of the misconceptions people have about pilots, and maybe just start thinking about it, that we can help deconstruct some of those misconceptions, and also just look at what the future of aviation looks like from your assessment. And as we wrap up this very, very important conversation, well, stick around. More than a journey, Jambojet in the house having a conversation with Captain Elizabeth. Well, the captain for the news is here. Captain Unia.
Yes. Aye. How do you respond?
We'll come up with a response for you. But well, Captain Unia is ready to take it away.
In Capital Newsbeat this hour.
UK disappointed with omissions from Batuk probe report. DFC approves 162 billion debt for food security swap with Kenya. And Santa signs prompt calls to police in Canadian city.
More in Capital Newsbeat. Capital Sports Update, where sports is taken seriously.
Good morning. Gor Mahia forward Georgia Mono says their 4-1 thrashing by APS Bomet was perfect wake-up call ahead of this weekend's Mashemeji Derby. The Ghanaian says they are determined to collect all 3 points against FC Leopards of the frustration of that defeat.
When you win, you become relaxed, and what happens to us was very bad. It shouldn't have happened to a team like Gor Mahia, because we have the qualities, everything, and we think we should have won the game hands down, but it couldn't go that way.
Kogalo face Ingwe in a rescheduled league tie at the Kasarani Stadium on Sunday evening. Nairobi United custodian David Oduor has charged his teammates to be more courageous if they are to attain better results in the CAF Confederations Cup. Oduor believes they have not been composed and confident with the ball in their first 2 matches in the group stages of the prestigious competition.
You can create a lot of chances to nayo ball. Kama game ya leo experience first half nzima tulikuwa tumejicompose, tunacheza vizuri, tunabuild ball, tunafika katika final third, lakini kidogo composure hapo mbele tu ndio inatuangusha peke yake. I think tukimprove katika hiyo composure hapo mbele tutakuwa safi.
Naibo suffered a 1-0 loss to AS Maniema of the Democratic of Congo in the second match at the Kasarani Stadium on Sunday. Safety took center stage yesterday at Diani as competitors in the East African Safari Classic Rally presented their vehicles for mandatory scrutineering ahead of the start of the iconic event. Chief Scrutineer Eric Opio described the exercise as thorough and essential, noting that while some cars had sailed through earlier checks, a number required follow-up inspections. Opio confirmed that each required to meet their strict safety and technical standards before being cleared to compete. The scrutineering process involved detailed inspection of roll cages, safety harness, fire extinguishers, fuel systems, braking components, suspension and overall vehicle integrity. In other results, Arsenal regained a 5-point lead in the English Premier League after beating visiting Brentford 2-0 at the Emirates Stadium last night. In other results, Nottingham beat Wolves 1-0. Crystal Palace were 1-0 winners over Burnley, while Aston Villa edged out Brighton 4-3. Chelsea lost 3-1 to Leeds, while Liverpool were held to a 1-1 draw by Sunderland. And that's your Capital FM Sports Update. For more on these and other stories, dial star 411 star 24 hash. More sports at 12:30. I'm Yunia Amunga.
Capital Sports Update. Up to the minute sports, where sports is taken seriously. A lovely thing about Christmas is it's compulsory, like your best mix of music. And we all go through it together.
Have a holly jolly Christmas. It's the best time of the year.
98.4 Capital FM. Merry Christmas.
Ho, 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 bring a bottle of rum. Ho, 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 cream and whiskey bourbon. Ho, 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 bring a bottle of booze. We got nothing to lose. Ho, 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 bring a friend if you please. Ho, 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 Santa's hoping to me. Ho, 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 all the misfits and us. I hope the misfits show up. Ho, 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 it don't get better
Well, the magic of the holidays is here. I'm looking outside from our fish tank and I'm just seeing all the beautiful decor, seeing the lights, and it tells you Christmas has come alive. It is 4th of December, but listen, not too early for you to start celebrating. Celebrations include you and your family taking a holiday. Could be one of the destinations that Jambojet flies to here within Kenya. Now, I've mentioned me personally, if you're listening here and you want to play Secret Santa, I want to be in Lamu, and I want to be in Lamu like right now. In fact, I don't even mind doing this show from Lamu, from a dhow somewhere, just seated, sipping on some madafu. Man, I can paint you a rosy picture because I am feeling the magic of the holidays. Now, we have Captain Elizabeth Timona in the house. We've been talking about, this journey of her coming to being a captain, the mentorship, paying it forward, the things that you've seen, and I like that you played the role of a teacher. Teachers, God bless them, because that for me feels like probably a thankless job. Thankless within the context, for we really do not understand how much goes into teaching and really equipping people with skills and taking a chance on them, because the patience required is so crazy. Did speak about your favorite destination, Entebbe, and for me it's always just like you land in Entebbe and then you have to drive down to Kampala. I'm like, guys, Can we just not land in Kampala? But then again, that drive is fantastic. Yeah. Now, speaking of drives, I want to just, as we wrap up this interview, maybe just get a feel of what drives you. But before we get to that, did ask you what are some of the misconceptions that people have about pilots, and are you able to speak to them?
Well, there are quite a number, actually. I think it's quite a mysterious kind of industry for the layman who wants to know more. But the first misconception, I think, would be to do with what you require to get in. You are encouraged to do your sciences.
So STEM.
Physics, the STEM.
Yes.
Now it is STEM. We used to call it the 3 sciences, remember?
Yes.
So now you are encouraged to do your STEM. It's good. It gives you the foundation of what to do or what to expect, because it's basically just STEM, elevated into aerodynamics, correction. And without that basic understanding of STEM, you could still have a shot at it. It just means that you'll have to learn STEM at an older age. So it should not stop one from pursuing it as a especially if you're young and willing to learn. You find that everything that is being taught is very tangible, and you can learn it even without the basic foundation that comes from high school and primary school. It's doable. It's very doable. So unlike other courses where you have to be very specific on what you picked in high school, you could still manage to pursue aviation without having these subjects done, but you will have to catch up. So you just have to put in more work and more effort, but you will catch up. I think another misconception is that it's a man's job.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But I will let you know that we are quite a good number of women and lady pilots, especially in Africa, which also surprises our foreigners when they come to the country for holiday.
Yeah.
And you get that a lot, and they ask about it, how are you guys so many female pilots, because the captain is a lady, the first officer is a lady, the cabin crew, they're ladies, and they're like, where are the men? And the issue with that is you find that the misconception is that,
yes,
it's a man's job. But where we're at right now in the 21st century and the kind of aircrafts that they are producing, this is definitely everyone's job. We fly by wire, and that means the aircraft is automated and computerized, and you don't need any muscle to fly the machine.
It's not a manual process.
No, all you have to do is input your action, and the computer will read that action and send it to the control, and the plane will move. So the heaviest thing we lift in the flight deck is our paperwork, honestly, and our iPads.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that's it. So it's definitely a misconception. Of course, I think it's rooted in the beginning of the industry, of course, with the Wright brothers. You build your aircraft and you fly it. And at that time, the 19th century, women were not building aircraft to fly, So there's the root of it. But at this day and age, definitely things are changing. Yes.
And we're changing the narrative one story at a time. And, bringing me to my second last question to you, Captain, is what message you'd share to young girls that, are either listening, or parents of young girls that are listening, and, how then we can encourage them to take up some of these, careers, if it's flying, showing them that there's actually opportunity and space for them to come be part of this world and really go on to have successful careers. Because, like you rightfully said, it was always the men become pilots and captains, then the ladies come and become your air hostesses, which there's nothing wrong in that, but we can play to both sides.
Yes. I will start by reiterating the fact that the industry is booming and the demand for pilots is only increasing. So there is no specific gender requirement for our demand. Our demand is we need pilots, and in 20 years' time we'll have a double demand. The percentage of demand is going up and up, especially after COVID. So I want to tell the girls out there, if you are thinking about it, just follow through. Access is, in this day and age, if you go into TikTok and Instagram, you have all the student pilots posting everything, something we did not have.
Correct.
So there's a lot of access for you to be able to even find a plan and figure out how to get in. And with that in your lap, if you have a passion and a dream and a need and a want to fly an aircraft, don't be intimidated by the machine or by the environment of it. And I also want to encourage you people that when you come to the flying school, there's no gender. The gender starts once you're flying people and they're like, because the teachers, they know it's a non-issue. And you realize that once the society is the voice of that bias.
Yes.
But when you go to flying school, the teacher doesn't know that you're of a specific gender, and everyone is treated equally and encouraged equally. And all you have to do is show up, be consistent, put in the work, burn that midnight oil, and show up, and it always works out for that kind of person.
I like that. Yeah. That, when you get there, there's no such thing as gender. It's just you, your ambition, and what it is you're looking to build. So now, given that ambition drives you clearly, you've worked so hard to get where you are. Where to next?
That's a good question.
What's in your cards? Or you're just cruising, just, coasting to see where it is that, this big dream of yours, where it takes you?
The industry has a way of sort of leading us to the spaces we end up in. And it's quite dynamic and it changes. I'll give an example of Emirates. Their hiring process has now shifted gears, and they have a requirement list of what you can be flying to be qualified to apply. And the change that has occurred is that now the aircraft that I fly has made it to that list. And prior to, this year, that was not a consideration. So now with that, now you start thinking, okay, so now that it's here,
yes,
now there's lifestyle choices and, how do I go about it? So for me, at the moment, I am at Jambojet. I am enjoying the new role and I'm growing a lot. It comes with a lot of demands, and it's a sort of like a managerial role because now you're having to run a team. And I'm appreciating the journey so far. So maybe in another few years, once I feel like it's time and the industry throws something on my lap, I might just think about it.
You'll be up for the challenge.
Yes.
I mean, listen, girl power and owning it, and also just really paying it forward. I can only wish you the best in your tenure as captain, and waiting to be on a flight one day and I hear Captain Elizabeth Timona. I'm like, I know her. In fact, I'm going to go and join her in the cockpit so we can fly this flight together. Well, I would love that. And in fact, as a matter of fact, the next time I'm flying Jambojet, I will be there asking, so is Captain Elizabeth Timona, is she the one flying? Good. I want to be there. More than a journey, Jambojet, 10 years helping over 7 million passengers take to the skies. Now that is no small feat, and we continue just encouraging those that are on a journey, be it career, be it just something that you want to do in your life. Please fuel yourself with that ambition and know that, the sky is only the limit. Thank you so much, Captain Elizabeth.
Thank you so much for having me. And we always love the opportunity to demystify this aviation to people. All are welcome. And of course, you too. If you find me in the flight deck, there's that extra seat, the jump seat.
Oh, it's called a jump seat.
It's called a jump seat. And just say, if it's Captain Timona amenipatia jump seat, you are welcome. And you'll definitely get a chance to enjoy.
Let me tell you that name, jump seat. I am going to use it everywhere. Okay, jump seat. Not a jump. Hey, listen, guys. Whatever we call it, you just mouth it. Then the hostess is like, she knows what she's talking about. Yes, that is it.
Jump seat and Captain Timona in the same sentence. You're in.
Nihivo, have you all heard? Permission granted. I'm gonna be captain soon. Well, the next hour, start sending in your requests. You know how we do it. 9 to 10 o'clock. You take charge of the music. Today we are all about those throwback tunes. I'm seeing the first track that you all have requested for, and I'm just like, okay, Union needs to wrap up on news like yesterday. Well, this is 984 in the morning with me, Fellaris, Chiko, and Captain Elizabeth Timona from Jambojet.
Thank you.
Cheers.
The best mix of music.